What's up, YouTube? It's Carl here, and today we're actually going to do the first leg day of the year. I also figured I'd tell you guys why I don't do too many leg days, why this is the first leg day of the year. Short story is I generally have a lot of pain in my left ankle. Long story is about 8 years ago, I was having a house party with some friends. We were all drinking. Some other friends showed up. I lived on the second story of the house. I ran down the steps. As I was coming down the steps, my heel hit the step that I was coming down, and my toes hit the step of the next step, and with the weight of my body, kind of unlaced my ankle and did some pretty bad damage. But I was pretty into the sauce and continued drinking the rest of the night, actually, and had to be kind of like carried around. Next morning, my ankle swelled up to about 3 times the size, turned black, and I had studied exercise science, so I knew that I might have a high ankle fracture. Went to the hospital just to make sure I didn't have any bone breaks or anything like that. I didn't have insurance at the time too, so when they told me I probably didn't have any damage or bone breaks, I yelled at the doctor when she tried to give me an air cast and told her to stop trying to pad the bill. And went home and just used ace bandages to try and get the swelling down. I'd have to like squeeze my foot into like a human type size and then wrap it up in ace bandages. The edema would come back really hard. I wore steel toe boots for my job, and that was kind of like a blessing because the steel toe boots kind of held out the edema. Like I would like squeeze it into squeeze the water out, like literally, because I was leaking internally pretty bad. And the ace bandages would put a small layer of ace bandage and then drop it in a boot, and did that for about 6 months. I probably had a regimen where I had to squeeze liquid out of my foot, get it into size every morning. I was working 68 hours a week in a candy factory. It was a packaging factory where we were packaging candy. Crazy time. I basically just had enough time to injure myself in a week, and the steel toe boots were really a godsend. They really helped. It was kind of a pain in the ass because I couldn't run or anything like that. Like I could at the time barely walk. It took a good 6 months before I didn't have to get the water out. Like my edema got back under control. After that, it still hurts to run. It still hurts to walk sometimes, even right now. That's why I don't do squats, because honestly, it doesn't seem like that big of a deal. I can do really heavy deadlifts. You see me do I'm trying to get to near 400 pounds here. And you think, that's the same thing. It's not. I'm not bearing the weight in a step. When I do the squats, it doesn't seem like much, but one step, just that change out when I step out from the squat rack, just puts all that pressure on my ankle, and it is just enough to make me want to scream sometimes. And I don't see the point in it. I can do goblet squats, do them sometimes. That's actually what I'm gonna do here in a minute. So I guess the moral of the story is only drink in moderation, and if you need healthcare, get it. If you have a problem, you should get it solved at the time. It's about 8 years later, and I'm still limping around. So here we go, leg day, some goblet squats, and that's about it for today. It's gonna be the first leg day of the year. So that was my loser's leg day. Whew, it was fun. Goblet squats don't hurt me because I can just keep my feet planted the whole time I'm bearing weight. Whew, the real thing that sucks about my ankle is it causes a lot of pain in my knee because I limp a little bit. So my right knee, for some reason, gets a little bit of pain in it, and it just throws me all out of whack, man. Be sure to leave a comment. Tell me about injuries you've had, and if you're watching the video up to this point, remember that we are friends. I would like you to give me a friend request on Facebook, give me a follow on Twitter and Instagram. We can like each other's posts, we can comment on each other's stories and whatnot, and have a good time. Whew. Remember, every day spent lifting weights is a good day. I'm Carl, telling you, you should have yourself a great day.